Kris, just maybe take us through the decision on moving Jeff Skinner up with Adam Henrique and Zach Hyman, and what kind of makes you warrant that decision?
Well, probably move Yanni to a fourth line center, and Skinner's been playing really well, points in his back-to-back games. Scored a really good goal the other night. Set up another one, Darnell's, the night before. Starting to build some confidence to his game. I think that's the biggest thing. I think his work ethic has been what it needs to be. I think he's been working hard on the defensive details of our game. But the most important thing to any player, whether you're a goalie, defenseman, or forward, and especially a goal scorer, is confidence. And you're starting to see him enjoying the game, smiling, having fun, and feeling better with the puck.
What does it say about someone who approaches every day like that after coming out of the lineup? That could not have been easy for him, but like you said, he's bringing on a piece.
Yeah, this season's not gone as he anticipated. I'm sure he was excited to join our team, and we were excited to have him. And just things hadn't worked out as well as anticipated, but I think he's been working hard to get his game back to where it should be, and now hopefully building on that and getting rewarded with some more ice time and opportunities.
So there was a time when, bottom six guys had certain characteristics, top six guys had certain characteristics. You have a couple guys in Skinner and Kapanen in your bottom six who have been top six guys a lot. They can score. They've got characteristics of both sides. What does it do for a coach? You have those guys in your bottom six.
It's you're just trying to make the most of the players that you have, and I don't think as time has gone on, I think your top six identity and your bottom six identity has changed. Now you've got power forwards that are on your top six that have that role and play a certain style. And then you've got your bottom. You look at, there's a lot of successful teams that had that. I think of the Washington Capitals had Verano as a young player who's not your typical fourth line kind of guy. He's skilled. He's a good player, and I can go through many other teams. And right now we've got some players that are like that, but I think we've got a lot of good hockey players, and the good hockey players that when they're on the ice, they help our team drive possession, drive goal scoring, and that's what we have.
Kapanen specifically. When guys get waived from two separate teams and end up on their third one, it's usually a bit of a crossroads in their career. Do you have a guy maybe at the right time in his career? He seems to be pretty dedicated here.
We've been very pleased and happy with his game. I think he gives us a little more than what we needed or what we were missing. Some more speed, especially our bottom six. Maybe a little more physicality. A young, youthful player, even though he's been in the NHL for a while, and not only that, but been very impressed with his penalty kill play with Podkolzin. Those two have been our third pair, but when they've been on the ice, we feel very confident with them. So I see a lot of good attributes from him. A player that's can skate, he can play with skilled players, he can play in the bottom six, very versatile. So we're very happy to have him.
Kris, in the playoffs, everybody hits and everybody blocks shots. You are a strong possession team. You're obviously aware of what the hits per 60 for the team is. Is this squad, is that just a byproduct of the makeup of your team right now? Could your team be more physical? Do you want your team to be more physical? Or is that something that's overblown?
I think physicality is very important to the game. I think you need some of it. But if you look at the team that usually has the most hits in a game is usually the losing team. So you got to be careful. Same with block shots. Blocking shots is important, but if you're the team that's blocking more shots, you don't have the puck, you're defending, and that shows up a lot. So, I think our team can be more physical. I think we need to have a little more of that element, but you also have to be careful on how much of that you get. And I think to have success in the regular season and especially playoffs, you need that physicality. But you also have to have a certain style of players to play that game.
You have one of the oldest teams in the league, an experienced team, and a team that's played the second most amount of playoff games in the NHL the last 3 years. Do you think your players, because of that maturity, know that there is a slightly different game that gets played? So do they play a different game in the regular season maybe than they do in the playoffs?
Well, the intensity, and that goes with every NHL team. Their physicality raises in the playoffs. No matter, you might have the most physical team that finishes the most hits, and when you hit playoffs, that physicality increases even more. And I know with our team, it'll increase more. And you saw it last year. We weren't a physical team last year. When we hit playoffs, our hits per 60 increased, but it still wasn't higher than most teams. You know, our physicality did increase, but we have a style of play that and style of players that we play to our style. We'll just leave it there.
Kris, I know you're still a relatively new NHL coach, but does this feel like one of the more zany road trips you've ever been on, with going west to come east and all sorts of different time zones, playing different divisions, all sorts? Is it pretty weird?
There's a lot of cities, a lot of time zones. I just remind myself of Western Hockey League and the travel that we used to do. So no matter what I see here in the NHL, this is nothing in comparison.
Do you know what time zone you're on? Right?
I do know what the time zone.
How did you? More serious, like how did you kind of adjust? Because you had a game Friday, go west, come here, and you're switching over 3 time zones. How do you kind of adjust and make sure you hit the ground?
Well, one, it starts with what we did in Seattle. There's the opportunity of, after the Seattle game, leaving right after, but the most important thing is the players being able to get their sleep. And if we were leave after the game right away, coming into Boston, we're probably looking at 4 or 5 a.m. Obviously, that's not optimal for the players to get their sleep. So we stayed in Seattle. Everyone hopefully got a good night's sleep. Left the next day. It was a travel day, and it was a long travel day, but it's formidable. It's nothing crazy. We get in at a decent hour. Guys are here for dinner, and they, again, have a excellent opportunity to get a good night's sleep. So sleep is very, very important. Time zone does have something to do with it, but I think that being said, I think we're set up. And we'll see after tomorrow night.
Yeah. Do you think that there's value in having a veteran team and doing something like this? Guys have been through a lot, or does it, like you said, coming out of the Christmas break, holiday break, it takes a little while to kind of get acclimated when you're at older bodies?
I think from my experience, and especially hearing a lot from my coaching staff, they're working with older players, and obviously some retired players on my staff, Koff and Stewie, that their input has been, older guys you would think would be better off having more time off, where in retrospect it's usually better them keeping things going and not having breaks, because when they have breaks it's tougher to get going again. And not that it's hard, but it's just regular. So I think that break kind of stalled some of our progress that we had. We were playing really well. Coming back, those first 2 games weren't as well as we'd been playing before the break. But last couple, I think we've been doing quite well.
Leon is on a hot streak right now. You've been around him now for over a year. Where would you rank his current performance?
For the regular season, maybe this is the best I've seen him play. I've seen him play even better in the playoffs, especially the LA and the Vancouver series. But for him to be as consistent and playing at that high level for this long period of stretch, and it kind of started with the injury to McDavid. He obviously had to really step up and play well. Missing McDavid, and really elevated his game for those 3 games. And he didn't look back. He's been playing at that high level since then.
How can you really tell, maybe even when you see him first time that day, that he's really on? I mean, obviously everyone sees when he scores, but you see him more than we do. And how can you tell as a coach, like, yes, today might be a good Leon Dale?
Yeah. His attention to detail and his work ethic. And just the other night, he said it wasn't his best game, and he was probably a little hard on himself. But I think he just expects a lot out of himself, and for a coach, it makes my job a lot easier. That the star players always expect the best out of themselves, and what it does is just trickles over the rest of the team. But Leon just, I don't know, he's very composed, very stoic. It's not that he gets really excited for certain games and casual for other ones. It's a very professional manner that no matter who we're playing, no matter what the game is, no matter if he's played well the night before or not, he comes to the rink with the same mindset.